Today's message comes from a beach near Geraldton in Western Australia. I had intended to film on the beach, but it is rather windy, so that you might hear this message, I've chosen to sit in the car. Have you ever received news that you didn't want to hear? How do you personally handle that moment? For me, I have to do something. To get out there and perhaps dig a post hole or cut some grass, I need something to do to help me to work through the process of whatever it is that's going on in life. I sometimes wonder if the disciples weren't a little like me. Jesus, their master and their friend, had been tragically killed. And so what did they do? They went back to what they knew: fishing. Now, because I don't eat fish, I don't go fishing. But being an old farmer, I love getting out in the paddock, as it were. Now, Peter was undoubtedly feeling quite miserable. Remember how he had let Jesus down? 3 times he had denied Jesus when he should have been standing with him. After the crucifixion, Peter said, according to John 21, "I'm going fishing." In other words, that might help me get my mind off of all that's happened and help me process some of what is going on. Quite a few of the other disciples joined him. So off they went, out on the boat, and in fact they fished all night long, but finished up catching nothing. As the sun was rising, someone on the beach shouted out to them, "Have you caught anything?" "No," was the simple one-word answer. So this fellow on the beach said, "Throw your net out on the other side of the boat." "Oh, yeah. All right." So they did, and their catch was so great that they really struggled to pull the fully loaded net into the boat. Peter cried out, "It is the Lord!" And with that he jumped into the water and made his way about 100 metres to the shore. "Bring some of the fish that you've caught," Jesus said. Now, after eating fish for breakfast, Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" "Of course I do," Peter replied. Jesus asked that same question 3 times in all. One for each of the times that Peter had denied Jesus. Peter was hurt by the question, but it needed to be asked. Why? Because Jesus was restoring Peter to his rightful place. "Feed my sheep," Jesus said to him. "Follow me." Now let me say here that there's nothing wrong with fishing. It's an honourable thing to do, even if I don't do it myself. Jesus is there, standing on the beach, with the fire going, ready to share with these disciples over a meal. Notice this, that although Peter had gone back with his friends to what he knew before he was called, Jesus met him right where he was. He was forgiven, he was restored, and he had a calling to follow. What about you and me? Jesus also comes to us right where we are. You may be out on the farm, or in the home, at work, in the shop, wherever. It may be that you've gone back to what you once knew because you're disappointed about the way that life and its circumstances have turned out. Know this: you are not alone. Jesus loves you and he wants to have a relationship with you and with me. Now, there's an old saying that goes like this: if God seems a long way away, guess who moved? When we return to where we belong, life takes on purpose and new meaning. I trust that this week you're able to spend time with the Lord in the Word, in prayer, and in communion. Have a wonderful week, and remember that we are blessed to be a blessing.